Thank you. We have a situation where we need to move forward rather quickly right away. A year ago, one of our inductees, Derek Jenkins, and I had difficulty communicating the night we were supposed to be here. And he wasn't here. And I offered him the opportunity to come back this year and be recognized and make his acceptance and stuff. He has to catch a plane in Santa Ana shortly. So we're going to disrupt the normal flow of things. I'm going to introduce him. He's going to do his thing. Then we'll get into the regular program for the evening. So I apologize for it's not really an inconvenience, but this is what we're going to do. So first of all, I'd just like to thank Derek, and I'll thank some other people, but Derek came today and talked to Greg Gardner's ACE classes, did just a phenomenal job, and you'll understand why here in a minute. He attended the Art Center of Design in Los Angeles after high school, received a BS degree in transportation design. While at the Art Center, Derek interned with Porsche for a summer outside of Stuttgart, Germany. He later interned at Volkswagen Studio. This led to a job straight out of college for Audi, Germany. At Audi, he served first as a lead exterior designer, followed by assistant chief designer. He was the principal exterior design of the A2 concept and production cars, as well as the 2002 Audi A8. Derek then moved to Volkswagen North America as a chief designer, where he is credited with several vehicles, including the Scirocco concept, Radster, microbus concept, VW GX3, and the Concept T. I'm not sure what all those are. Derek then became director of design at Mazda North America operation, where he was the lead designer of the Mazda MX-5 Miata. I do know that one, which was a really hot car, which was the World Car of the Year and World Car Design of the Year in 2016. In 2015, Derek left Mazda, I think that's a typo, to join Lucid Motors, where he is the senior vice president of design and brand. Lucid is an electric startup, and their Lucid Air was recently named Motor Trend Magazine 2022 Car of the Year. If you're at Fashion Island and you're on the road where the Apple store is, if you walk towards Broadway, the building, Macy's. Macy's. I knew my wife would know what David is saying. Walk towards Macy's. His car, they have a little showroom where his car is exhibited there. Check it out. It is one fine-looking automobile. Without any further ado, Derek Jenkins.
Yeah, thanks for letting me crash the party. It was completely my screw-up last year, and I unfortunately had this horrible phone call from, I think it was Mrs. Johnson from Diane. It's like, where are you? And I'm like, what do you mean, where am I? I'm at work. And she's like, tonight's the event. And I just completely messed up the date, so I'm here to crash the party tonight. Again, thank you, Bruce, for doing this event. It's awesome. I've really enjoyed it. It was great meeting the students today. Thank you, Diane Johnson, for helping nominate me. It means a lot. She was, what do you, the yellow jacket. Yeah, the yellow jacket during, and it's just great to reconnect with you, so thank you so much. Just a bit, Bruce gave you my background. You know, I was fortunate enough to grow up here in Huntington Beach, literally down the street across Hamilton. My mom still lives there. I love you, Mom. Thank you for everything. Fortunate enough. Awesome ladies. Fortunate enough to grow up in a great household in a great town. Doing a lot of amazing things, growing up surfing, soccer, AYSO. We still just love Huntington Beach. It's great to come back here. Growing up, I was really into cars through my dad. Worked on old Volkswagens, restoring cars, restored my first car when I was 15. You know, made my own surfboards, made my own bikes and mini bikes. And I thought I wanted to be an engineer. I thought I wanted to be a mechanical engineer. I wanted to do something with cars because I just loved cars. And but it turns out I was horrible at math, which is not a good combination if you're an engineer. And so I had a real a lucky moment where my surf coach, as you know, Edison's great with surf competition. My surfing coach, a gentleman by the name of John Rothrock, bless him, he's no longer around, but he was an amazing guy. He taught ceramics and art. He loved surfing, and he knew that I loved cars. And he's like, what's your plan after high school? And I said, I thought I wanted to be an engineer, but I don't know if I could pull it off. And he goes, you need to check out Art Center College of Design up in Pasadena. They have an automobile transportation program. It's world renowned. Go check it out. So in a couple months later, or a month later, my mom drove me up there. I saw what the students were doing. Clay models and sketching cars, and a lot of famous car designers came out of that school, and that was enough of an inspiration that I just, at 15, was it? I committed to that, and that was my focus 100% through Edison, got accepted to the school, got the internships, got the jobs, and now I'm on this journey with the startup car company, but that's also been an awesome part of the chapter because it's very entrepreneurial. We've taken the company public. We're about to launch our SUV at the LA Auto Show, so please come check it out in November. I'm really excited about that. No pressure to buy a car, and I can't get you a deal, so don't ask. No, it's just a real honor to be back here for this and be part of this. An amazing list of people this year. Congratulations to everybody. I wish you all the best. Thank you again, Bruce. I really appreciate it. Happy to come back next year if you'll have me again.
You should have seen the kids asking the questions to him. And the level, these were freshmen. The level of intensity, number one, but also the level of intelligence that was there, and they were just going back and forth, him and the kids, and that's what we're all about, right? Okay. I think you'll get to your plan. I think so. Yeah. Anyway, welcome. I would like to ask our new principal, Danny Morris, to come up. But before he does that, he will introduce two other of our former principals. But I want to point out that this all started because of Delise. She gave us the okay to go ahead and form the committee, come up with ideas, and set the guidelines and all that kind of stuff. And I just want to publicly thank her. And then Jennifer for the last 7, 8 years has supported the program as the principal here. And of course, Danny and I have known each other for a long time, and I know he's going to support it because I'm going to make him. Anyway, Danny Morris.
I'll support it. More about that later. But thank you everyone for being here tonight. This is a really special night. Not only does it recognize some Chargers, some really great Chargers, but we also have great Chargers in the room. So it's a really great night. So I prepared some words, and we'll read through it. Normally, I'm trying to learn how I can be here. I know I worked with Ed at Huntington for a few years, and by the 8th year of being a principal, you can kind of wing it. But your first 2 years, you're like, okay, what can I get away with? So I prepared something tonight. So on behalf of the Hall of Fame Committee, I'm honored to welcome you to this year's induction ceremony. We are here tonight to celebrate the accomplishments of our inductees and to reflect on the importance of honoring tradition. Tradition is the foundation of our community. It connects us to our past, and it gives us a sense of identity. Charger traditions are the things that make us unique, and they are the things that bring us together. The Hall of Fame is a way to honor these traditions and to celebrate the people who have made significant contributions to the local, state, national, and global community. Our inductees tonight are all role models who have inspired others and who have made our larger community in school a better place for our current students to thrive. We are proud to induct them into the Hall of Fame, and we are grateful for their contributions. Lastly, it is important to note that Charger traditions provide us with a sense of stability and comfort. In a world that is constantly changing, these traditions can give us a sense of grounding and a sense of belonging. Tradition is the foundation of our community, and it is what makes us unique. Thank you for being here tonight to celebrate our inductees and to honor our traditions here at Edison High School. At this time, I'd like to recognize some very important people who have made this night as important as any of the 50+ years that Edison High School has been in our community. First, we'd like to welcome my boss, the person who hired me as an assistant principal a long time ago, 15, 16 years ago. I still remember sitting in her office. She had her green coffee cup. I too had a flight I was going to South Lake Tahoe High School to interview for their principal job. And I remember asking Delise, you know, I have a flight booked. Are you gonna, do I have a chance? And she said, I'd like to offer you a position. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. So Dr. Delise Melendres and her husband Rita are here tonight. Thank you for being here and supporting this awesome tradition. Next, we have Miss Jennifer Graves. And Jennifer and I have been partners in crime, supporting each other, commiserating, perhaps talking smack on some other people for the last 7 years. She's been a great confidant, but also when we started talking about this at my last school, Jennifer was someone I reached out to and said, is this something we could do? Jennifer, you've always been a great support. Jennifer Graves is here with her husband David. Thank you both. Next, we have a few people. I have stories about each of them, but I will be here all night. So I would just like them to stand and be recognized. That's our Hall of Fame committee. So if you could please stand. Cindy Berman, Rich Boyce, I thought you were getting Rich Boyce. Linda Carpenter, Rick Justice, Brendan Patch is actually here with us, but he's calling the volleyball game right now in the gym, so he'll be here for ribs. Tricia Lindquist, Berta Rogers, the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Shimpock, Norma Wilson, Dave White, speaking of legends, Kelly Loomis, Joe Loomis, and Kendra Rosales. Thank you all for all your hard work in making this night a success. And then, of course, last but not least, the person I've stolen many ideas from to make the other school have a great night like this. Bruce has been here since the beginning. I think you were the first person I met at Edison after Delise hired me. And speaking of commiserating, I think we talked over a few beers on what to expect. And I still haven't been able to get that light changed to where the, to go left where the rich people live. So I apologize. But Bruce, thank you for all you do. This is as much your night as it is everyone here, and we appreciate all your hard work. You've been here for the last 2 weeks, almost nonstop, getting ready for tonight, but it's actually been probably over the last year. So thank you for all you do for us. Thank you for all you do for Edison, and thank you for just being here for all of us. Appreciate it. I will turn it back to the legend.
Actually, we met long before he ever started working here. Our former next door neighbor and Danny were really good friends growing up. In fact, we've broken bread at our house before, so we have a long history there. A couple of things, you know, obviously the committee, I would like to thank the committee and all the people that have helped me. There's a number of individuals that aren't on the committee, and in the back of the program, or one of the things of the program, you know, lists their names. It makes what we do here possible, and so I'm really appreciative to everyone for that. I would also like to just share something with everyone. Maybe it was about a year or so ago, just talking with my wife. She said, you know, you should put some things up in the hallway about your inductees. And so she had this idea of creating this poster. And so we got out a piece of paper and made up little stick figures and stuff of what we thought it might look like. And it was her idea to do this. And then we gave it to Kelly Prouty, who was going to be here today. She's had some surgery recently, and she just wasn't feeling up to it. And then she came up with a kind of a template. And we have a number of these already posted around campus. Lisa Guerrero's, Dave White's, and so forth. And Derek's is up as well. And we placed them in strategic places. But I wanted to just share with you what they look like. This is the basic template. They give us the pictures, and Kelly designed this whole thing, and then puts the pictures that they give us, and then we put some of the bios we get are a little long, so we have to pare them down because otherwise the kids can't. You know, you've got to buy them, like can't really read them. But this is Kelly Gallagher's, which is going to go up over in the English area, and William Wayne's is already up over there. We have, I can't. But anyway, this is something that we're doing, and I just want to thank my wife and Kelly Prouty for that. We also have a number of former inductees here tonight, and if they would stand real fast for me, please. Alyssa Murphy, Danny Cairns, Lisa Guerrero, Dave White. I know Katie Lambright was planning to come. She came back and spoke today to the kids. I think where I'm trying to go with this is to get more and more of the former inductees to come as part of a family, which I think we've always felt Edison really is. And the staff members, a third of the people here are from the staff, teaching staff and the classified staff, and former teachers, you know, Mike and Linda and Norma, who are on the committee, and Chuck. I mean, this is really what makes this a lot of fun. But thank you all for coming tonight. It's time to eat. So we will start with tables 1, 2, and 3. I think everything's ready, Rich? Okay. And then I'll call you out, send you over there so you can chit chat with your friends, and we'll get dinner done and then continue on with the program.
Well, Tom didn't tell me the organization of this thing, so I'll knock this out real quick. So, once again, my name is Nick Jeslin. I work in our major crimes. I'm a detective with our major crimes unit. I work in our criminal apprehension and gang enforcement team. Going pretty close to my 10th year as a cop. I'm with the Westminster Police Department. We work close with Orange County Probation, enforcing gang law, gang members, and all the stuff they do. A lot of our team, the criminal apprehension part of it is a lot of surveillance for our in-house Westminster PD case fugitives. So we travel throughout Orange County, other counties, up the state. I've done extraditions out of Colorado, Utah, stuff like that. But enough about me, let's talk about Thomas while we're here. Tom and I both grew up in Huntington. He grew up pretty much around the corner from me. We attended all the same high schools, or all the same schools, Eder Elementary, Sowers Middle School, then Edison High. I mean, his dad was our Cub Scout master growing up, so. Been friends since we were in kindergarten, and over the years, you know, members of our current friend group started getting added, and we've all managed to stay pretty close. And we all knew, with how dedicated Tom was to swimming, that he was going to go far and he was going to succeed. Here, he swam on varsity all 4 years. He received multiple awards, broke multiple records. I just have to note he broke the national high school record in a 200-yard freestyle. After high school, some of us went to college, some of us went to the military, some of us went up north or around here, but we all managed to stay close, so we all kept tabs on Tom. He swam for Berkeley. Ended up graduating Berkeley 2013. We all graduated, or I graduated the same year. Tom went on to continue in the swim life. I started my career, but Tom just kept us all super motivated. He had attended the Olympics 2 times, the 2-time gold medalist, one in Tokyo and one in Rio. With the Olympics, you know, you're limited on how many guests you can have, and travel's pretty restrictive, especially in Asia. So we all couldn't go there, but I remember a couple of us had a watch party, especially when Tom showed up on a Kellogg's box. So we had our, you know, Team USA shirts on, and, you know, rallied behind Tom behind a big screen. Currently, Tom's the American record holder in the short course, 50-meter butterfly, correct me if I'm wrong, and a 200-meter butterfly. So going back to the Olympics, in the 2016 Summer Olympics, he won the gold in the 4x100 medley relay. And then in the 2020 Olympics, he won the gold at the butterfly. He swam the butterfly leg of the 4x100 men's medley relay. After swim life started to slow, he became an advocate for mental health and mental health awareness. He paved the way for others to be able to come forward, receive and seek the help, and, you know, give their share their stories with any type of mental health related issues. But I don't want to get too personal with that. Currently, Tom is married, has a handsome young boy, Magnus, right there. I'm gonna put my son's name. Magnus, his wife Gianna. He lives in Santa Cruz with his wife, and Tom can't stay out of the water. He's still an avid surfer, spear fisherman, body surfer, anything water related. I'm pretty sure Magnus is going to be right there too. He recently told me he plans on continuing coaching, kind of staying in the swim world, or working with youth development as far as that goes, and then definitely having more kids and growing his tribe. So give a hand to Tom.
Guys, move over.
Oh, we gotta be the. All right, thanks for dealing with us. I think I texted Mr. Belcher like 16 different times trying to get this whole thing organized. Me and everyone I know has a little one. I'm in that part of my life, and couldn't be happier. So I also just couldn't be more thankful to be here and to be involved here now and in the past. I'm so thankful to see so many familiar faces. I just want to share a little bit about what I feel I learned here. I'll lean back here. You know, I was here at a time someone reminded me tonight, he's like, oh, you were in my class and you just coughed every 30 seconds. And I was like, oh yeah, it was before I really knew how to get my breathing under control. But really, like, I think the attention to detail that I learned here really like harped on 3 things for me, and that's like the value of having a conversation, the importance of impact or legacy, and the risk associated with existing in a community like that, and then the importance of a team. So what that means to me is I remember like my first couple weeks here, I was in Dr. Millinger's office, and he's like, hey, so can I just like pretend I'm a sophomore and like not do the 0 period PE, like switch that all around, and so I can go to Nova? And I had like Keith, Ryan, and Diggy, who were supposed to be here with us tonight, but they both have duties at Costa Mesa Aquatics. Really helped me kind of formulate a lot of those things, and that very quickly led. I got to hold the same 200 freestyle record as my father, who's sitting right there. So that was super fun. The time here, he set in probably 76 to 82 range. Yeah, somewhere in there. And that's like leads me to the legacy and the focus on impact that this place taught me. I existed at a time here where we seem to lose someone every year, whether or not I knew them or was related to them or whatever that looked like. And I hope that has since slowed down a bit, but really being here through a time period where there was an all-hands meeting in the spring every year. It was pretty tough, and that definitely informs what I do now. I've had my own struggles with mental health, and really what Nick was referencing there is and what I'm meaning by the value of just sitting down with the boss in charge and being like, hey, this is the situation, these are your rules, like can we come to an agreement here? Got us a bunch of mental health funding. I would, very similarly, my gold medals are from the relays, but you're like, wait, you don't have like a bunch of tattoos and super jacked, and you're not Michael Phelps, so who are you? I swim in the morning, and those guys are like the public face, and I got to beat Michael Phelps once at Nationals, and that got me a huge contract with Kellogg's, and little did they know he would beat me 150 other times. But in the same vein, so he got to do the movie for the mental health thing, and I got to be involved in the initiative and conversations in the back rooms and use my education here, my education from Cal, and put that to use and have those conversations and increase that funding. That's probably my most proud legacy, and then my most embarrassing one is I sued our governing body and burned about $10 million over a private league. I won't bore you with the details, but I do try to stand up for what's right, but I do now. I just walked away from my last government position in USA Swimming to raise my kids and give back and do clinics and stuff and be more focused on community building, because I'm sure we're not the only sport, but USA Swimming membership is down 100,000 members from 2008. So we have a job to do, and the Olympians are doing it, and we make money doing it. So it's great. It's a good little like win-win for the whole group, so I'm trying to rally the group to do that. With that, I'll leave you. Thank you guys so much for having me out. This has been a blast. Sorry we had to go early, but Nick's got to go do his job. So thank you guys very much.
Okay, we'll take a little quick break, allow people to kind of finish up. We have some desserts over here. Anyone you want to use the restroom, go straight through past the serving area into the faculty dining room. The restroom's on the right, and we'll start back up in about 5-10 minutes. Okay?
I was stupid. I should have went like this. You were like this.
Jeff? Thank you. Our next presenter, I just know him as Bulldog, but Steve Crothers is going to present Willie Ames Upton.
Forgive me if I stumble, I'm terrified right now. This is my greatest fear, standing up in front of people and talking.
You get used to it.
I don't want to get used to it. Hello, good evening, fellow Charger alumni and Hall of Fame inductees, and I've got quite a few friends here. As Bruce said, and I'm affectionately known as Bulldog, have been since 1973 at Edison High School.
Can you talk into the mic, please?
They can't hear.
You don't need to hear me. All right, sorry about that. Okay. Actually, if I wanted to, you could hear me without the microphone. So, anyway, I was asked by my friend Willie to present him tonight. We've been friends for a long time. I met Willie back when he was a freshman. So that would have been, what, 1974. We met because I was the bouncer du jour and he threw the best parties. So that's how I got to know him and his sister. Anyway, I guess I had somewhat of a reputation back then. Whether it was deserved or not, I don't really know, but that's okay. Willie also played with a lot of my friends in Williams and Paradise. There was a lot of guys that went here to Edison High School. Several musicians that were part of Willie's band back then. As oftentimes happens, we lost track of each other for a few years. And, you know, we went on with our lives. I'm sure everybody knows Willie from, you know, Eight Is Enough. It was probably, you know, the one thing the most. And Charles in Charge. It's funny because every time I see him on something like Gunsmoke or something like that, I take a picture and I send it to him or I send it to his wife, Winnie. And, hey, look what I saw. Anyways, we connected again about 10 years ago. And it's been an honor to rekindle our friendship. We've gone very close. Willie is the person who I consider to be my very closest friend. He's been a cruise director, CEO of Alt Media Group. Right now, he's still acting part-time, producing, writing, and his #1 job is as Winnie's husband. And I love them both. It was an honor. They actually asked me to be a photographer for their wedding, and that was probably the greatest gig I've ever had in my life. That was awesome. It would take way too long to list all the accomplishments. The one thing that I did, Willie had talked to me about Winnie and their relationship and how they met, and Winnie met him through vendors, and for years and years and years. And I was able to be part of the developing, you know, talking to Willie through their relationship as it developed. And it was awesome. They actually, there's a movie that is about their relationship that was out. And it's an awesome movie. If you have a chance, see it. It's pretty cool. Like I said, I consider Willie to be my closest friend. If it weren't for him, I don't think I'd be standing up here today. You know, Tom was talking about mental health and stuff, and I went through a pretty dark period, and Willie helped me through it. And you know, I will forever love him for that. Anyway, I'm shaking up here because this is scaring the crap out of me. You know, and I'm not afraid of a lot of stuff, but this is it. Anyway, it's my pleasure and truly an honor to introduce to you from Edison High School, class of 1978, Willie Ames. Hey, you know, this is, you know, we were, this is yours.
Move here. Move it. Hey, it's got it.
So I'm going to pick up that piece of paper and see what he really wanted to say. There's a couple of reasons why I'm here, other than just being shocked. Because when I was here, I was pretty much your state-of-the-art D student. And both my brother Jim, who's here, who was in the first graduating class at Edison, and Steve had mentioned to the board or the committee about having me here without my knowledge. Then Steve told me it was going to happen and decided to move out of the state, so that kind of tells you, you know, what he thinks about it. But and then I started looking at the list of accomplishments of some of our alumni, and I was further shocked that I was here, you know, because many of you actually had to excel at something. I mean, me, I just had to be cute in a photograph once, and then I coasted for 54 years. And that was pretty much it, you know? I mean, you got generals and surgeons and, you know, gold medalists, and I told a joke about a puppy once, and here I am, I mean, it's been 45 years since I've been past those gates, and I couldn't have guessed when I was here at Edison that I would ever be back, quite frankly. I will admit that on occasion when I would visit my father or visit somebody else here, I'd stand in the parking lot on a Saturday and kind of try to recall some of the memories from being here in those days. I do remember watching from my bedroom window the school being built. I remember seeing all of the walls going up. I'm certain there are walls that I defaced before it was open. And I'm so glad the cop is gone. Because I pictured, all of this weird thinking, like, you're thinking, why do they want me there? Like, are they going to bring out my transcripts and, hit me with a double whammy? It was frightening. Like, you have no idea how stressful this can be. I mean, it's just... My oldest brother, Jim, he was track captain. I had my other brother, Ron, who graduated in the second year. My sister, Kim, who was on the drill team and was very involved and dated Rocky's brother, Donnie. So there's a lot of those memories. And I try to recall the memories because I started acting in 1969. When I was going to Eder Elementary. And I had some success. I'd been doing things like Gunsmoke, Courts of Biddy's Father, Medical Center, a lot of shows that many of you probably never even heard of. A lot of Disney movies. Myself, Jodie Foster, Kurt Russell, we were all kind of working together. And I had that success. I was fortunate to work with some legends. I was working with Henry Fonda. I would regularly, spend time with Alfred Hitchcock, John Wayne, Lucille Ball, and all of these people taught me different things along the way. But it was in my sophomore year here at Edison High School that I did this show called 8 is Enough. And it took off like in just a shot. I was absolutely amazed and unprepared for it. Because I went from kind of being the little brother to these people who excelled at this high school to literally a global household name. And I didn't know what to do with it. It's funny because a story about Dick Odie. I was in Richard Odie's Madrigal Ensemble in the a cappella choir. And I didn't know it at the time. But when I auditioned for 8 is Enough, I had a concert that night. So I showed up at Warner Brothers in my tuxedo, ready to go directly to the gig. And it turns out that was one of the reasons they hired me. Was because the suit fit, I guess. But the fact that I was involved in something like that here at this school let them know that I was a normal kid. That I was just like every other kid in any other high school of that age. And they later said in interviews, years later, they said that's one of the things that made me stand out. And I don't know if Dick ever knew that. But anyway, my life here from that point on was anything but normal. I mean, we tried to make it normal, but the truth is, I felt invisible through much of that period of time. It's confusing, and I felt misunderstood, and the more successful the show became, the more misunderstood I felt, and the less a part of the things around here that I felt. And the more complicated my relationships with my fellow Chargers and students and teachers became. And when you add in People's Choice Awards and, showing up in all of these different places. And I used to play, actually my band used to play out there in the bowl at lunchtime. And suddenly I wasn't a high school garage band like everybody else. I'm touring with Rod Stewart and Hall & Oates and meeting the Doors and meeting these people and meeting these people, and it just was overwhelming. Really, really. I was meeting and hanging out with my rock and roll heroes. And every time I'd walk out onto this stage with this sea of screaming girls, because I was on the cover of all the Teen Beat magazines and all of that, all I could think of was, what the hell are you doing here? Because I'm really not any good. I really wasn't that good, you know? So why bring it up? Because there were teachers at this school that saw through all of the craziness. I get emotional in my older age. There were educators at Edison that looked me in the eye, and as I remember it, cared more about Willie Upton, the student, not the kid that had become a famous actor. I think they knew what I needed was an adult to encourage me, believe in me, because I couldn't and I didn't. I never wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be a marine biologist. You know, I never wanted to be famous. That was never my goal. And it was embarrassing. It was so deeply embarrassing. And Dick Odie, for sure, was a mentor, an encourager. He was someone that took a deep interest in his students, and he was always available. Always, weekends, day or night. But there were others here that I don't think they understood the impact that they had on somebody like me. No matter how small we may have interacted, I don't think they knew what it meant to a confused kid that was just trying to grow up and deal with all of the stuff that was happening to him. One of the things I remember most was the year that Coach Lorenzen called my parents and begged them to let me wrestle, to be normal. And I was blown away that a coach from my school, like another adult, cared that much to go to my parents and plead their case to just let me do something that was normal. And I'll never forget it. I don't think he knows or knew. Coach Shiro, we used to call him Micro Shiro. We always saw eye to eye. Because we're both 5'0". He showed me that no matter how small I felt or looked, I could jump higher and achieve more than anybody else around me, because he was like a human spring. He was amazing. And of course, Coach Workman, Bill Workman, whom of course we just lost. Coach Workman and my uncle both taught together in Whittier, and before he came to Edison. And I remember I was on the football field one night. I think I had presented some award to the cheerleaders for participating in an 8 is enough thing. And he came over and he looked down and he actually spoke to me. And I was blown away. That had more impact on me than meeting John Wayne or saying hello to Alfred Hitchcock. Because he cared. And he just had that stature, that countenance, that, you know, and the point is that these educators here at Edison, they noticed me. Not the actor, not the guy on the magazine covers, they noticed me. And I can't even begin to understand all of the challenges that our students face today. I mean, famous today? That's a curse. I mean, it's just, there's so much going on. I mean, believe me, anonymity, that's a gift, you know? And they're doing that in every high school around the country, and every high school around the country has educators that look kids in the eye and look at confused kids, kids that feel invisible, and they care about them. And for you educators, you'll never know. Well, not even once, I run into people all the time still that will come up to me and say, I saw you play your guitar on 8 is Enough, and I became a musician. You changed my life. And you're thinking, I never set out to be that, you know, but it happened. And it's happening with you guys every single year, day in and day out. You put up with little monsters like me, you know, and you do your job, and somehow you find the courage to get up and care every morning, every semester. I do know that without educators like the ones that I mentioned, that take an interest in confused kids, this would be a very challenging world, because you make a difference. So tonight, I'm honored to accept this for all the students that feel invisible. And I thank the faculty that did and will continue to go out of their way to see them for who they are and encourage them to be who they can be. You make the difference. Tonight, I'm very proud to be a Charger.
You're not the only one that's emotional. Most of you know, so am I. Thank you for opening your heart. At the beginning of the year, the principals allowed me to come back and talk about this event. And my whole motivation has been to get people here to hear these. You're not the only one that has done this. We've had so many neat speeches that makes what we do. And I still remember Kelly's, when Kelly was first here, and she couldn't wait to even get home, and she lives like 10 seconds from here. She goes, that was so great, so motivating, I want to go back to school in the morning. You know? And we never know. We never know what kind of impact we have on people. And I'm just, I'd love to have you come back and talk to our entire staff. Because some of those people need to hear that stuff.
Please do. And he always looks mean, he's not mean.
Okay, well, I don't want to make anyone feel bad, but, shoot, trying to remember where I'm at. I know where I'm at. Okay. What was that?
It's a nice place to be.
Yeah, I know that part. I know that part. I just didn't know what we were doing. Our next presentation, our next presenter, Ray Cano, will present Suzanne Zan Mochino.
Good evening. There's no way I'm going to follow up with this presentation. Just clap at the end. I'm honored to be able to introduce to you perhaps the only alumna person from Edison High School that has become a general. Suzanne Zan, as we know her, Vautrinot, has a long list of successes throughout her career, which have humbly began here at Edison High School. I confess that I did not know Zan very well, but I had met her through some friends and my sister who was in the marching band. If anybody's here a trombone player, I believe if you've got to sling a slide, you need to talk to Zan. From Edison, Zan had attended the Air Force Academy, graduated with a BS degree in 1982, served in various assignments, including strategic security, space operations, policy, to name a few. Her accolades are numerous and on the national level, to her credit. She serves on numerous boards of directors, has a long list of awards and decorations, and was elected as a member of the National Academy of Engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great honor to introduce Zan Vautrinot.
Are we supposed to do that thing first, or?
Oh, yeah.
You're just back. I was just watching you guys, so.
So sorry.
Isn't it appropriate that it's a charger?
Yes.
Charger.
Yes, they are. We've never noticed that until just now. I'm short as well, so I always feel like Kilroy holding on, so I'm just going to stand to the side of the very tall podium. Bruce said that Edison was like family, and it was. Part of that was because my whole family came to Edison at the same time. There were 5 of us, 5 in 5 years, no twins. My mother is a saint, my siblings are not. And the ones that are here today, yeah, I know, there's hopefully little go on. But we all came to Edison together, and we came as family, and we found family. And I like to joke when I'm talking to folks about the great experience here, you know, the graduating class at my high school was bigger than my husband's hometown in Iowa. Honest to God, I'm not kidding. The graduating class here was bigger than my graduating class at the Air Force Academy. But it still felt like family. And it felt like you had an opportunity to do absolutely everything that you might be interested in. And if that was because the great teachers were making it exciting, and Ms. Carpenter already told you, you made English exciting because you made me research what would become my future, which was the Air Force Academy, which was just opening to women. Mr. Shimpak the same way, in terms of everything about our history and where we were going to go in the future. And names like McGinty and Keyes and McLennan and frankly, Gordon McCullum, who many of you will not remember, but he was our gymnastics coach, and we lost him in a wing walking accident when I was first here. He was fearless, and he taught us to be fearless. So even in that loss, I made a big step in understanding that sometimes you just gotta go for it because you love it. And that's exactly what I got to do when I got to step to the Air Force Academy and then into the space business with all kinds of very cool technology and spy satellites, and then eventually into cyber and offensive cyber and change what was going on in the way that we fought wars. It was so exciting. But more importantly, going back to where I started in 1978, and I think you mentioned this, you know, it wasn't about notoriety. The big thing that happened in '78 was the first superhero movie. It was Superman. The costumes weren't great, but the idea was that there were superheroes in the world. And those superheroes weren't the people that were out in front of you that you noticed. They were the people in the back room doing the reporting with the glasses on that nobody really noticed. And I found that that's been true all the way through my career. The superheroes that built these extraordinary satellites that you now use for GPS on your phones, and the people that changed networks so that everyone could communicate on the internet and now help us protect them. The folks in medicine that made extraordinary advances. I am now on the board of City of Hope, which now has a new facility in Irvine, but they do great cancer and diabetes research. And doctors do amazing things. I've got some scars down here. I'm a cancer survivor. My husband said he didn't need a marriage license, he needed an extended warranty. Those doctors make it possible for us to have the most amazing life and live it a long time and save our friends and save our colleagues. And the ones that are changing the world at the national laboratories with all kinds of things that are, that 3D printing and technologies for new kinds of energy and safe nuclear power. All of those things are people that are now my heroes. And I learned what a hero was right here. So for all of those folks that are about to graduate from this school, I met a whole bunch of them today. I had the opportunity to speak to a number of the classes. They are extraordinary. And I know they're extraordinary because all of the instructors and all of the coaches in this room have raised them to a level where they can be. They're articulate, they're excited about the future, they are scared as heck of Bruce. They sit in the front row because he told them to sit in the front row. How many kids do that? They are going to make a difference in the world and be the next generation of heroes because the teachers and the folks here that were supporting them, administration all the way through, made their lives exceptional. So thank you for making mine start that way, and thank you for ensuring that the next generation is going to be every bit as extraordinary.
Our next presenter is Tim Floyd to present Elise Williams Moore, better known as T. Floyd.
Thank you. So I typed some stuff up, but as I've sat here throughout the night, because I didn't know what to expect. Like a lot of you, I was dealing with Bruce. I love the guy, but I got a text and I got one phone call, and then he sent me a stack of stuff in the mail, which I hadn't received in several years, something to the mail. So I didn't know what to expect. So it's not as formal as I expected, which I love. So I'm gonna go off script a little bit, but just from sitting here tonight, like the one thing I'm realizing from hearing people, some who graduated, 40 plus years ago, others who are more recent graduates, is just how much this is a community and how the teachers impact people and those people come back and give back to this community, give back to the school. And I spent time here, so not that this is about me, I'm not gonna talk about me, but I taught here for 7 years and I coached water polo and swimming. I've since moved on to the dark side. I'm an administrator, and I've been at Huntington Beach High School and Marina High School. But this place holds a special place in my heart. It was really where I spent my first chunk of my teaching career. And as I got here today, again, not really knowing what to expect, I didn't know who I was gonna run into. So it's been great to see not only Elise that I knew I was gonna see to present this, but like I've seen so many other people. And this entire night just reminded me how rad this place is and how great of an event this is to honor Chargers who have made an impact, who continue to make an impact and inspire the next generation of Chargers, and it keeps giving, right? So this is great. So thank you, Bruce, for creating this, and everybody else who supported it along the way, and everybody who shows up every year to keep this going. It's really rad to see. Okay, back to the script a little bit. So I had the privilege of working here for those 7 years, and I met a lot of student athletes, and Elise Williams was one of those, Elise Moore now. And I'm gonna say I coached Elise, and I'm gonna put it in quotation marks, because for one, I was the assistant coach. Not to demean any assistant coaches, right? But the reality is Elise came to that pool deck and knew more about water polo than I did as the coach. So I'm gonna say in some way, Elise coached me, because when you get those athletes that are just elite level athletes, you learn, and they can be 14, 15, 16-year-old athletes and teach you as a coach a lot. So I had the privilege of coaching Elise. She excelled here. She was an amazing athlete at Edison. We had a lot of success. She was a quiet and reserved leader, but insanely powerful and impactful as a leader on the pool deck. You know, one of those athletes that's first in the pool, just leads by example. She was that person. Her incredible career here catapulted her to a career at UCLA to play water polo, which, for those of you that don't follow the sport, UCLA is always one of the top programs in the nation. So while at UCLA, she was a 4-time All-American, leading the Bruins to the NCAA title game in 2014, 2015, and 2017. For most athletes competing at that high level of college athletics, that's the peak, right? Not for Elise. Her time at UCLA prepared her for the highest level of water polo, which is competing at the international level. She eventually became a member of Team USA and then would compete professionally in Spain. During her time on the national team, Elise helped lead Team USA to first place finishes at water polo's toughest international competitions, World Cups, Super League finals, Pan American Games, and the Olympics. The Olympics. Wild that we are sitting among 2 gold medalists today, right? At the 2020 Olympic Games held in Tokyo, Elise was an integral part of the Team USA squad that captured the gold medal. I remember watching it, telling people, I know her. She scored 8 goals in those 2020 games, played phenomenal defense, and was probably arguably one of the main reasons why they captured gold that summer. An incredible playing career from the high school level here at Edison through the collegiate level up to the international level. She couldn't let those skills and accomplishments go to waste, so while her playing career has come to an end, she transitioned to a coach, which is awesome. She currently serves as the assistant coach for the women's water polo program at UC Irvine, where she continues to inspire young athletes to become better polo players, but really better humans. Her passion for the sport and helping people, it just makes her an ideal coach. And I actually just learned tonight that she is also the junior national team coach as well. She's a phenomenal water polo player with accomplishments most athletes could only dream of. On top of that, she's a great person, a loving wife, and very recently a new mom as of 3 weeks ago. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Elise Moore, formerly known as Elise Williams, one of your 2023 Edison High School Hall of Fame inductees.
Come on, Floyd, you gotta stand in front of that thing. Okay.
That's what they teach you in Marine.
I also wrote my speech down because, well, partially I don't enjoy public speaking, and also I'm a new mom, so my mind is all over the place. But first of all, thank you, Floyd, for that. That was great. And thank you to everyone at Edison, especially Mr. Belcher, for putting this on, and the committee for having us all here. And congratulations to everyone else being inducted tonight. When Mr. Belcher mentioned the nomination to me back in the spring, he said that the Hall of Fame was about what we've done after leaving Edison, not about what we did in high school. However, most of us wouldn't be where we are today without the experiences that we've had here at Edison. High school, which I feel like is either amazing or traumatizing, and I won't get into which one it was for me, is a pivotal time in our lives where we're forced to learn so many valuable life lessons, whether we realize it or not. Throughout my time at Edison, I set goals for my future self, which included attending UCLA, whether through swimming, water polo, or grades. I was playing water polo and swimming here at Edison. I was playing water polo for a local club team, and I was training with the Olympic Development Pipeline, like younger youth teams at the same time. Throughout all of this, I learned to be thankful for my health and the ability to compete in sport in general. I learned time management and how to prioritize my responsibilities in education while pursuing my passion in sport. I learned how to communicate effectively with teachers, coaches, administrators when conflicts arose. I learned how to manage a social life while navigating how to work alongside my teammates towards a common goal. There were so many life lessons crammed into a short 4-year period that I took with me into my career in college and then later with the national team. While some of these lessons were forced on me through stressful times, they were all cultivated by the amazing support system that I had and I'm lucky to still have by my side. I would be silly to think that I could have achieved any of these accomplishments without help, and looking back, I had the best help. To Diggy, who unfortunately isn't here tonight, and Floyd, thank you for always encouraging me to set my goals higher. We were a decent team during my time here at Edison, but Diggy always believed we were CIF champions. Trust me, this is our year. He encouraged all of my athletic dreams and honestly believed in me more than I believed in myself. Diggy probably told everyone I would be an Olympian before I even knew I was good enough to play in college. Outside of Edison, I had so many other coaches and teachers who were equally as encouraging and whom I wouldn't be here without. To my teammates at Edison, UCLA, and on the national team, thanks for being there. Elite sport isn't easy, and training for the Olympics is one of the hardest things that I've ever done. The only reason I was able to go through that training twice is because of my teammates that were beside me. There's nothing that bonds you quite like shared experiences, and especially difficult ones. To my parents, thanks. Well, where do I even begin? My dad was one of my first coaches, and he was the reason I got into water polo in the first place. His passion for the sport rubbed off on me, and we've been able to bond over it ever since. But both my parents have been by my side every step of the way, from 10 and under Junior Olympics to Edison League nights to every single one of my UCLA games to traveling the world to watch me play internationally. They never missed anything. They drove me to every practice, every pool deck, and listened through every tier when things weren't going so well and when they were. I can go on and on about them all night, but they know exactly how thankful I am for their love and support. I quite literally wouldn't be here without you both. And finally, to my husband, Cody. We started dating our freshman year of college, so he's been with me through my entire post-high school water polo career. We put off getting married and having kids so I could pursue my dream of becoming an Olympian, and you not only stood by my side every step of the way, but you championed my dreams and encouraged me to keep going even when I was convinced I was done playing. Now we're married with the most beautiful little boy, and I'm so thankful to be doing life with you by my side. I love you. I feel like I wouldn't be a true Bruin without quoting or finishing my speech without a quote from John Wooden. However, instead of a quote about hard work or sport, I'm going to pick my favorite quote by him. We can give without loving, but we can't love without giving. In fact, love is nothing unless we give it to someone. This may seem like a weird quote to end on for a Hall of Fame speech where I'm being inducted for my athletic endeavors, but this quote hits home for me because none of this means anything if I don't share it with the people I love the most. None of us achieved this alone. And I love that we're all here sharing this experience together, praising those that helped us get here. That to me is the ultimate reward. So thank you again for this honor, and as always, go Chargers.
Elisa's due date, when I first contacted her that she'd been selected, her due date was going to be last night, yesterday. So it was really touch and go, and I'm so pleased. And this is her first night away. And we all know how that is, especially the moms. Our next presenter is Monica Nash, who will present Leanne McElroy.
I'm a rule follower, so I did write mine down. Good evening, my name is Monica Nash. I'm class of '82. It's so nice to be here back on campus for this special occasion. I'm here to introduce my friend who I met 54 years ago in kindergarten at LaBard Elementary School. We've been through it all together: Girl Scouts, slumber parties, birthday parties, child rearing. We've done it all, you name it. I'll never forget sitting in Senor Brooks's Spanish class here at Edison when Leanne strolled in and immediately started speaking fluent Spanish to Senor Brooks. The rest of us were still trying to figure out how to say, "Estoy bien, ¿y tú?" without fumbling over our words. We were utterly confused and wondering why she was able to speak so fluently. While trying not to burst out laughing, Senor Brooks told us we had a new foreign exchange student, Consuelo Zapata. With a straight face, Leanne nodded that he was correct, and she was indeed Consuelo Zapata. I tell you this story not only to give you a sense of Leanne's witty sense of humor, but also to showcase how far ahead of the curve Leanne was when it came to learning a foreign language. Since high school, Leanne has earned degrees in linguistics from UCLA and Cal State Long Beach. She speaks 8 languages, but I like to say 9 if you count music as a language, which I do because she plays the piano beautifully. And this may be surprising to note, but even though she was nominated for a Golden Key Award in foreign languages here at Edison, she didn't even make it as a runner-up. Between earning her degrees, Leanne spent time in the Peace Corps and working for the State Department as a language specialist in Tanzania and the Comoros Islands. In fact, she helped establish the Department of English at the University of the Comoros. If you want to hear more about what she did in her year in Tanzania, I recommend you read her book, Sleeping with Lions. Leanne is a masterful author and tells many great stories about her adventures there. Since its release last November, she has sold over 2,500 copies. I only bought 10, so that means other people have loved that book too. In fact, it is already considered a best-selling travel book. I know Leanne and her family think I'm her biggest fan, but I hope they also see that this award is merited. She has devoted her life to education both here in the US and abroad in East Africa and Europe. She is a tenured professor at Cerritos College and a lecturer emeritus at Cal State Long Beach, where she was named Most Valuable Professor for the University Honors Program. At Cerritos College, she is also the chair for the Department of ESL and the Student Learning Outcomes Coordinator. In addition, Leanne is an endowed scholar of Jane Thought Leadership. If you ask her though, she will say her greatest accomplishment has been raising 2 amazing daughters that are off living their best lives. Leanne jokes with me that she's finally living up to my expectations of all she can be. Through this Edison High School Alumni Hall of Fame Award, I hope she recognizes that I am not the only one that is proud of her accomplishments. Ladies and gentlemen, Leanne McElroy.
Don't you run, Leanne.
That's pretty cool.
so much, Monica. She is my biggest fan. My brother calls her my agent. It all does sound very fancy when she introduces me like that. And I think my 17-year-old Edison High School Charger self would be shocked at all of that. In fact, today's been such a special day coming and talking to the students. In many ways, I felt like I was able to turn back the clock a little bit, and really my 17-year-old self, who was last in this room for the Superlative Awards our senior year, was very happy. So thank you, Edison High School. Monica, thank you for always believing in me. Yes, I did have a lot of fun at Edison High School. And as Mr. Belcher said, you know, this award is not for what I did in high school, thank goodness. It's what I did afterwards. So thank you very much. At first I was embarrassed by this award and like, oh, come on, you know, Monica, like really. But after being here today and after hearing from everyone else too, and thinking about my time here at Edison, it truly is an honor, and it truly is incredible for me to have this moment right now to pay homage to the school and to the memory of my friends who are here and those who are still in my life. And so thank you so much for that. The placement of the plaque near the bowl where I spent so much time with my friends is really meaningful and special to me. And so in that spirit, I do want to dedicate this award to my friend Joe Legaspi, who died 3 years ago, right before the pandemic, and who really gave my years here so much joy, so much spirit. And during those Spirit Awards, he always promised us that no matter what, or the Superlative Awards, we were the funnest class. And so to Joe Legaspi and to his memory and all the happiness he brought, any of you who knew him, thank you. So 2 weeks ago, I received a text from one of my best friends from high school, Carrie Weber, who's now a doctorate, a psychologist, if any of you know him, living in Germany. And it was on a Sunday afternoon, and the text just simply said, how often on a lazy Sunday afternoon do you think about how lucky we were to grow up where we did and to have the friends that we have? Not the friends that we had, but the friends that we have. And I was thinking the same thing just that moment. In fact, the day before I had sent a text to my brother with a song called Turn Back the Clock and said, Dave, weren't we lucky? Don't you want to kind of go back sometimes? And so again, today has been really special to step back onto this campus and to remember all of those incredible memories and to realize how lucky we are. One of the students asked me today, when he heard about all the countries that I've lived in and traveled, if you could go back and choose your life and pick a place to live and grow up, and I said, here. It's here. And so often, especially, you know, my late teen years, my mom can tell you, I was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go to Germany. I gotta go to Europe. I got big dreams. And I am very grateful that I've been able to see the world. But I'm very grateful that all those years ago on a lark, my mom driving through here said, this looks like a nice place to live. And it is. Another student asked me today, what would you tell yourself, your high school self? And one of the things that I said is, I said, I would listen to the teachers that you trust and ignore the teachers who are saying unkind things to you. And so that's been a message tonight that I'm noticing is some of those teachers, Mr. Odie, what a sweet, lovely man. And then for me, it was Mr. Brooks. So Wilson, please tell his wife about this moment. Thank you so much. He was a very, very special teacher, I'll say that, and I'm very glad I listened to him. So what does Edison High School mean to me? First of all, the first thing that comes to mind is my friends. They are still some of my best friends in the world. Monica and Janet are here, so thank you again, friends since kindergarten. But I had a best friend in high school, Laura McCartan, who would write me notes every day. I will always be here for you. And all these years later, she still is. My friends, Beth Holden, Chrissy, Debbie Fonseca, Monica, Melissa, Janet, Carrie Weber, Joe Krafka, Joe Legaspi, and others, they really were my home at school. They gave me that sense of home that I was very lucky enough to go home to and have my brothers, David and Neil, who are also fellow Chargers. and who just gave me so much love and so much hope and so much happiness at a time that can be very difficult, as we've talked about tonight. Willie, your speech really touched me, and I had a similar response when Mr. Bruce asked me to speak. He's like, oh, you can talk to the AP class. I'm like, I don't want to just talk to the AP class. I want to talk to the students who may be invisible or who may not be heard or seen. And so to that regard, one of the memories I have is Mr. Brooks. I was having a tough time my freshman year, not a tough time, but suddenly I found that I was in classes for typing and stenography, and I realized someone had taken me off a college track somewhere. And Mr. Brooks recognized that, and he took me under his wing and said, no, you have a gift, you have a skill, and you're gonna be my assistant, one period. And all we did is he would just talk to me. What's going on? No, you're good at this. And so he was really, really lovely. I also had Mrs. Moss, who was an English teacher. Do you remember her? Yeah. She was so great. She pulled me out of class when they said, I need to talk to you. And she needed to talk to me and tell me to stop making googly eyes at the boys. But she said, you should focus on your class and you should focus on your writing. And so I did, I listened to that. There was also Mrs. Furr, I think it was her last year teaching, and she would put the things that she wrote up on the bulletin board to read as a senior in high school, which was really lovely. But those teachers who really saw something in me that maybe, yes, I asked Monica to put in that Golden Key Award thing because it was a key moment. I'd been nominated for the Golden Key Award, and I stood up on the stage and like, all right, they're gonna call my name, runners up, win it, nothing. And I remember at that moment thinking, maybe Mr. Brooks is wrong. Maybe I don't have this gift that he's telling me that I have, but I realized he was right. So that was the thing that I told the students. So that's what. So I have to say, be very, very grateful, and I noticed that that's a theme tonight, is those teachers. I am an unlikely educator, as Monica told that one story. That is just one of many. I did not take high school very seriously. Is that accurate, Monica? That's correct. That is correct. But I did take learning seriously, and I had a lot of fun as it was happening. And I think one of the keys that's coming is the teachers. Those the teachers who still saw something in us and recognized, yeah, they saw you as a human. They saw us as human beings first and encouraged us from that point. So I'm very, very grateful for that. So who was I in high school? Someone who's having a lot of fun. The awards that I did win in high school is I was consistently voted the most inspirational player on our volleyball team, which was the losingest team in the Sunset League. I was always very proud of that until recently someone pointed out that might not be something to be proud of. Might be called toxic positivity now, but I stand by it. But I always loved learning, and I always saw that learning was something that was interaction. It was an interaction, it was about community, and it was about people. Who I was not someone getting superlatives my senior year in this cafeteria all those years ago. But at the same time, I did feel like the one superlative that I did have was what Joe said. I did feel then, and I still feel now, that I was the luckiest person. Just to live in such a beautiful place, to grow up in this community, to feel that love, to have that sense of community and family at Edison High School. And I'm so grateful for that. I know. So I would like to finish with this thought. And I just saw it recently in a cemetery. It's very depressing, but it really hit home as I was preparing for this. So this is these are for my friends. These are for my brothers. These are for those who loved me through and continue to love me through my life, who maybe never got an award or who maybe never got the accolade that I'm getting tonight, which is a huge honor. Thank you all very, very much. And this is something that I like to finish with. We have become ourselves, not alone, but with each other's help. On the face of it, youth's bloom has gone, replaced by heartier stuff, whose roots are deep and all-encompassing. How fortunate we were to have loved each other then. and even more so, to still love each other now. So here's to the love that I've always felt here and that I feel tonight. Go Chargers.
I gotta put a plug in. When she got nominated, I went and bought this. But her book, Lisa's book, Warrior, are two outstanding pieces of work by Edison students.
Yes.
Love it. Our final presenter is Norm Wan to present his brother, Rocky.
I'm Rocky's 80-year-old brother with broken vocal cords, so please bear with me. I didn't know what to expect. I don't have any of these notes right now. So I didn't know what to expect when I came here tonight. And one of the things is that I'm pretty sure Jonas Salk went to Edison High School when I asked Rocky, what am I supposed to talk about, man? And he said, don't talk about sports. It's not about what we did here. It's what we've done since we've been there. And he reassured me. He said, as a football star, he was a legend then, and he's always been a legend, and he will always be a legend, and so I need not mention. He's a football legend. Thank you, brother, for the privilege of sharing this crazy, wonderful moment in time that honors the man you have become and for the works that you've done. Unselfishly serving so many others, serving my own nonprofit. It doesn't escape me that you ate meals here, but you've helped us provide millions of meals for hungry kids and their families all over Southern California. You've helped us raise millions of dollars to lift up the least, the last, the lost, and the left out. On their behalf, they've sent me to thank you and to bring hugs to you. Some degrees are learned in the hallowed halls of colleges and universities throughout the world. Some degrees are earned out on the streets and the back alleys of the world. My brother doesn't have a bachelor's degree, doesn't have a master's degree. He doesn't have a doctorate to display on the wall. His biography is a short story of academia. No headlines, no plaques, no public adoration. His biography, on the other hand, is loaded with tireless effort, physical labors of love, a shoulder to the grindstone philosophy in life, all wrapped up in a giant servant's heart. His induction into this Hall of Fame may not come from a traditional path, yet in my mind and my heart, no one could be more deserving to stand amongst the honorees here tonight. My introduction of him is a little untraditional as well. I entitled it, the unexpected one. David Lee Wan, known as Rocky to most, is who I've come here tonight to brag about and boast. I've written this poem to share how this all came to be, to invite each of you to look back on this journey with me. You're being inducted, little brother, into a grand hall of fame. I'm proud of that. More proud of you from how far back you came. While success may come easy for the brilliant and the best, for the rich and the famous, overachievers, the entitled, and all of the rest, your road to this room wasn't even paved, wasn't all straight, wasn't all nice. It had bumps and cracks and potholes, and your trip came with a price. Details aren't important. It's not just about the wrongs or the rights. It's about overcoming, being down, getting up, and eventually winning those fights. While your achievements are many, the Air Force, social service, fundraising, and more, coming all the way back from all the way back in the pack is where you get your very highest score. You and I both know, and those closest to us would agree, we may never have expected this. Nearly impossible to foresee. And yet, here you are. Knocked down at times, but never knocked out. Lost some rounds along the way, but in the end, it wasn't about. So appreciate the blessings. Enjoy this magnificent view of your family and your friends here to celebrate you. Kudos from our two out-of-state sisters. From heaven, cheers from our youngest brother. Thumbs up from our dad, and smiles and tears from our mother. So a hail to the victor, probably not the one expected by most. Still, it's you that I've come here to brag about and toast. Because some say life's race goes to the swift when it's done. But this gift from God tonight, the unexpected one, I love you. Congratulations, David Lee, Rocky Wan.
Can I leave now? Thank you, brother. Well, I didn't expect that. That was pretty amazing. What a great opportunity today has been. I got to speak to kids this morning, freshmen. That was an interesting skater out. Luckily, I mostly talked about history and things like that of the school and so on, and some of the things that I'd accomplished while I was here playing football. So it was kind of a fun time, and I even brought in some one of my personality tests that I've done and for a company I used to call True Colors, and so we talked a little bit about personalities, and so I shared with them True Colors, which is orange, green, blue, and gold. And so I had asked them, okay, and I had given them like 3 little things of each one of those so they could figure out who they were. And of course I had like 2 hands raised, and but every time one of those hands raised, they were just who I thought they would be, and that was the oranges. And those oranges, just so you know, they're doers. And so they're going to raise their hands the first time, every time, happened in all 3 of my classes. So it was real interesting. I had a fun time. I got them going, got them a little bit excited about what was going on. Then I shared all the rest of the stuff. So I had a great time. It was really wonderful. Thank you, Bruce, for allowing me to be here. You know, I never thought I'd be here. I've been coming to this pretty much every year. Just kind of sitting where you're sitting right now going, wouldn't that be cool if I could be one of you? So it was pretty cool. You make me do that. Anyway, so when I was speaking to the class, I realized that I was sitting in that very seat 54 years ago. I'm the oldest recipient right now. I'm sure we'll find one in the class of 70. I'm class of 72. So I didn't win any gold medals. I was in the Air Force. I didn't make general. But we were close together. She was, I think, in Ramstein, right? Where are you? You were in Ramstein. I was at Hahn Air Base, so we were real close. I saluted her today.
I returned the salute.
Yeah. Gotcha. So, anyway, but there's one thing I did do, and you can never take it away. And anybody that's a football player or a coach here will know that I was lucky enough to be the guy that tackled John Swoboda behind the line of scrimmage to help us win 21-20 in our very first year at Edison High School. Take away, but as we know, it takes 10 other guys to do what it did. I always tell everybody, I said the hole was about this big and there was people all over the place, and when in reality we called the blitz, which was the right play to call, and the hole was this wide, and they'd gone through and tackled them, and lo and behold, 21-20, we had a great year that year. So anyway, let me get on to thanking a lot of individuals that are here tonight and some that aren't. But let me start with what time I have left on this earth. I want to be happy, or bring happiness, and be happy. And I want to thank all of you on the committee, Bruce, for believing me and nominating me for this. It's been just warms my heart. I love it. It's taken me a while, as Norm might have mentioned. You know, we've had some challenges in our life, but it's taken me a while, as the Beatles sang, get back to where I once belonged. It's so amazing we're here tonight just for something that we love to do. I know you love to do what you do, don't you, Lisa? Yeah. Thank you for coming tonight. I couldn't have done this without all the examples that are set out here. Willie Upton, I know Willie's story. He's amazing. Winnie, I love your guys' story. I haven't seen the movie, but man, I'll bet it's something. So I discovered that you don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be present. And to be the best, you have to understand that you don't have a lot of choices. It's about understanding the work and sacrifice necessary to get it done. There's no compromise if you want to be the best or you want to be a champion. It takes what it takes. That was stated by Jesse Cipolla at our golf tournament. I had to write that down. He's an amazing man. Another quote that I'm going to share with you is Coach Workman never said I. Thank you, Jeff Hyder. He shared that with us at Coach Workman's celebration of life. It's not about who receives the award, but about the people who helped you get there. People like my wife, Lori. She was helping me with my speech today. A lot of times I say, I don't want to hear from here. And then, you know, she comes up with something really cool, and then okay. You know how it goes. So she's done so much more for me. My dad, he's gone, been gone for a long time. Don Juan was his name. Don Juan Sr., who also was the Don Juan Jr. He was tough, but he was fair. Donnie. I miss my brother, Donnie. He was number 13. He played he graduated in '76. He played with Rick Bayshore, so he was the recipient of a lot of passes from Rick. And Rick and I love to talk about that, and now I see all the stuff that he puts out there in the quarterback club, so I get to see my brother, you know, on film. Or I could never see him before because I was playing college ball. There's my mom. You know, moms do everything, man. They're the keeper of all the scrapbooks and things like that. I've got programs and scrapbooks coming out my ears. It's awesome. She was an amazing lady. My brother Norm. You know, he doesn't come. They don't come any better. He's my half brother, but he's my brother, and he always has been my brother. He's been with me when I was there, when I was born. I have a picture that I saw this morning. It's me and him, and I was just a little baby, and he was holding on to me. I always kind of like to share this one story about how he used to even take me to his girlfriend's houses. Judy knows this of all. And he always used to put me somewhere and then say, I'll be back in about an hour. You know what happened there. Well, on a maybe a little bit more serious note, Coach Asaro. He was my mentor. He was an amazing man. We lost him a couple of years ago. He was my mentor, friend, and spiritual guide. Coach Vale, he's still alive. He's still with us. He taught us to overcome obstacles and never give up. Bruce, thank you for picking me. I'm only trying to follow your path as a Charger. So thank you so much for that. Dave White, unbelievable guy, great leader of men. I mean, he coached for how many years, Coach? 30-some years? 38. 38, but who's counting? Who's counting?
He's still
Jeff Hyder, talk about Mr. Charger. Man, that guy, it doesn't come any better than this man. I learned from all of these people. Where's my buddy Dan? Where's Dano? There he is. Silent leader right over there. You don't want to tick him off either, by the way. Sam Fuga. He's the last one on my list. I'm sure there's more, but Sam Fuga was the epitome of every day in every way we get a little better. Sam was paralyzed in one of our games, and he was told he would never walk again. He didn't believe that. And all of us Chargers just kind of stayed around him and lifted him up, and a year later, Sam walked again. We lost Sam a few years ago. I was able to spend one last evening with him in the hospital. I asked him if he knew where he was going. He said, yeah, and I'm okay with that. I said, okay, brother, see you later. And that was the last that I saw of my friend. I've also learned not to just exist, but to live. It's not often you get a chance to get it right a second time. I try and think a little bit about what defines me. I may not be an artist that paints beautiful sunsets behind trees like one of our Hall of Famers, Holly Wohan. So several of you probably know who Holly is. The brush I use in life is sweeping strokes of memories from the past. and what the future might hold for me through living through remembrance of those memories. In my life, I followed my heart. One master, one student, one summer to dream as my life starts to unwind. Coach Asaro was my master, and I was his student while still apart. Finally, realized why I'm here on this earth. Crazy as that may sound, after 69 years, it was in front of me my whole life. I was building memories that I might be able to share those to make a difference in this life. What is my purpose? Bring memories so that there might be roses in December. My mom shared that with me, and all of us kids have that saying that she wrote down for us. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Most give up before they hit the starting line. That was a quote I picked up from Susie Castle, is her name. It took me 40 years to get that ingrained into my head. Magic Johnson to Shaq. You must fail before you can succeed. I can't tell you how many times I failed. The sad part about it getting older is no one can see you. No one can see you're still young on the inside. I try to be. My wife goes, "Try again, hon." You'll do it. I'm not going to my grave with my best work still inside me. I've got lots of work left to do here. I will continue to unearth whatever that is. Thank you for this honor and opportunity to be more than I am right now. Thank you for helping me to treat life with more purpose. And as you walk through life, find something that gives you a chance to do something special. And also along the way, don't forget to make great memories and just quite possibly change lives for the better. Because of you, all of you that have been here in my life, and I see a lot of faces, every day and every way, I'll get a little better. Thank you.
Thank you all. To the inductees, the comments you made are just, it just ceases to amaze me. And to all the staff that are here, tomorrow, you need to tell your colleagues what an awesome night tonight was and how they should have been here. Seriously, I mean, I just, we don't always get, as educators, we don't always get the recognition. And we never really always know what has happened. And the inductees this year, as in every previous year, they've shared their stories with us. And it's lightened our burden. Some of the, Linda and Mike and Norma that, were here in the 70s. And to hear about some of the people that influenced you when you were here is heartwarming. It really is. It just really is really fun. I thank you all. I thank the people for helping me out in putting this on. All the teachers that helped with the speeches. As you can tell, the people that were able to make it today seemed to have a really great time in interacting with the kids. I do remember a comment that Leanne made to me. She goes, "Oh, I think I want to come and teach high school." And I said, "No, you don't." These kids were on their best behavior. Maybe because I had threatened them. Anyway, some housekeeping. First of all, inductees, don't forget your plaques. And your charger, yeah, I didn't know what they were called. And the stand that goes with them. The centerpieces, someone at the table is welcome to take them, except don't take the wreath with the lights in it. Please leave that here. And don't take the table numbers and the sticks in it. Please, just take them out and leave them on the table. We'll pick those up. We have a couple up here too. There's one back in the back there. If someone feels like they really want to take one of these things home, please take them home. Am I forgetting anything?
Group picture.
A group picture of all the inductees. With their charger. Yep, we will do that. All right. Thank you.